First of all, a little good news. Let's keep in mind the opinion polls have Hillary way in the negatives on trustworthiness. And we say, well, that doesn't matter. It's not moving the needle enough on whether she'll get elected. It isn't until she has a solid opponent, one opponent whose character can be measured against hers. Right now, people are only going to vote Democrat. They see the D, and that's what they're going to support. The character issues are going to matter a lot more as we get closer. The question is, can we make that matter, or are we going to let these stories die? Real quick, in the Clinton Foundation, just another story. We hear so many, and I don't really care as much about the story as what we do with it. The story is that it has now come out that a bunch of countries, 20, that were donating to the Clinton Foundation. Also, Hillary herself, her department, okayed defense contracts. Armed weapons sales to these countries. Now, these countries were getting weapons sales under Bush. However, she nearly doubled the amount of weapons sales, billions and billions, $165 billion worth of weapons sales to these countries, many of which have terrible human rights records. So here she's getting money to her foundation and facilitating greatly increased weapons sales. And oh, gee, by the way, the people selling the weapons also made donations to her foundation. In other words, she's raking in the money. I know a lot of us basically think, well, so what? Nothing seems to stick. I don't think it's sticking because as much as it shouldn't. I think it's our fault. I don't think we're good enough on our messaging. I don't think we're quick. And so what I want to give is just a few quick things that we can say to help people understand what's going on here. See, George Stephanopoulos used the number one defense of all this. He basically said it's for charity, in his non-apology where he basically said, I gave these things, but it was to help fight AIDS and to fight poverty and all this kind of stuff. Okay, let's get rid of this right now. Tell your friends. Tell people you know. The Clinton Foundation is not a charity, okay? Mother Teresa was a charity. And let me give you a few quick points. Number one, Mother Teresa did not pocket 90% of the money coming in, okay? Number two, Mother Teresa also never rewarded donations with greatly increased weapons contracts. I'm pretty sure of that. Okay, number three, Mother Teresa also never received donations from press leaders who are going to be reporting on her presidential campaign. This is crazy. Compare the Clinton Foundation to Mother Teresa. Everybody relates and understands Mother Teresa, and lead in and just say, look, Mother Teresa never pocketed 90%. These people who, if these donors really intended to help with these efforts, they would have found a Mother Teresa. There are plenty of them. Rather than giving to a foundation using 90% of the money for overhead. My gosh, folks, if that's overhead, then the Superdome is the roof on my house. Okay?
No, my. Now, this tells me one thing, and I'll let you get in just a second.
Yeah, please.
We need to, our candidate needs to have known Mother Teresa, so that way when the eventual presidential debate comes up, we can have him say, I knew Mother Teresa, I served with Mother Teresa,
yeah.
And you, Hillary Clinton, are no Mother Teresa. We need that moment.
Well, I'll tell you what. Mother Hillary is not Mother Teresa. Mother Teresa didn't pocket 90% of the money that came in. And by the way, not all the donors, but the people who were connected to the Clintons who were donating, they knew full well that money is going into their pockets and toward her campaign. That's why they're sending the money into that. And my last thing that I want people to understand is this. Even mob bosses have legitimate fronts. Hey, I'm a legitimate businessman, okay? When you put when only 10% of the money goes to the charity, that's a front, okay?
I'm a legitimate businessman.
I'm a legitimate businessman. Yeah, I'm running a charity here. Okay, I can't do East Coast, sorry. But this is the way we got to start talking to our friends. Compare Mother Hillary to Mother Teresa.
What if this was a religious couple? Would there ever in a billion years be would it be considered reasonable by the press, by the public in general, if the people were to go into that store and demand a refund because they don't want their wedding rings tainted by gay hands? If they were to say something like that, by somebody who supports gay marriage. Is that something that would ever fly?
No, period.